But in the news that we have just received, 70 army Jawans martyred in the terror attack on an army unit in Uri of Jammu and Kashmir. According to the Indian Army, a group of heavily armed terrorists targeted the administrative base of a unit. After a gun battle, army Jawans have gunned down 4 terrorists. What we're getting to hear is that combing operations are currently underway. The administrative base had a large strength of troops of units who were stationed in temporary shelters which caught fire and resulted in the heavy casualty. So that's the news that we have right now. A very upsetting bit of news about 17 Jawans having lost their lives in the attack that took place where 4 terrorists, they entered the administrative unit in Uri. That's the big news that we have right now. Breaking. What we do know is that the combing operations is going on just to confirm, to ascertain whether there are any other remaining terrorists inside the army unit. Okay, we have with us now retired Lieutenant General Syed Atta Hussain, who is with us now. Sir, I spoke to you a short while back. This is a very upsetting bit of news, extremely shocking to hear 17 Jawans who have lost their lives. You know, I just wanted to ask, what are the lessons that one can learn post an attack like this? Because this is not the first time that we have been attacked by these fidains.
Vandika, let me first of all express my deep regret for the losses and heavy losses of life which has taken place in Uri, the brigade headquarters. And as you know, I have commanded this brigade myself, and it particularly concerns me much more because I have an emotional connect with that area. But the question you are asking, I think it will be a little unfair to really go into it in detail at this time and try and start ascertaining lessons, etc. But from the top of the head, I could only say that one of the things is that there is always a dilemma for the army, for any person there near the line of control, as to what strength of troops should be kept in the bases and what strength of troops should be deployed on the line of control.
Why is there a dilemma? Sir, if I may just interrupt you here, why is there a dilemma? I completely agree. You know, I remember when the Pathankot attack had taken place, the attackers were met with strong resistance from the security personnel. Now we are seeing also once again all the 4 terrorists being neutralized, though unfortunately we have lost 17 Jawans. Why is there a dilemma even after so many years of facing attacks like these?
You see, firstly, the one thing which should be very clear to everyone is this is a different kind of conflict. This is a sub-conventional conflict in which, and I would call it a hybrid conflict. The predictability of actions and operations is extremely difficult in this. And you are absolutely right that anyone who knows these tactics and who knows the ground should be able to predict which are the areas where this can happen. And I myself predicted that Uri is a potential place where it can happen. Then to safeguard every single barrack, every single installation in Uri will become difficult, and obviously someone has been keeping a very close watch on the activities there. Someone has been tracking things out there and passing back the information. Either this has been a one-night attack, or is someone possibly a sleeper agent who's probably been in Uri for some time. There are all kinds of permutations and combinations that you can draw in terms of lessons from here. But the point which I'm trying to say is, it is not easy to secure these bases 100%. Because the strength which is required, which you have with you, is a finite amount. And that finite amount forces you to make sure that the maximum strength is at the line of control, where you are not only doing counter-infiltration, you're also protecting and ensuring and safeguarding the sanctity of the line of control. That is the most important thing.
And that's a huge challenge indeed.
In the depth area.
Absolutely. Sir, just stay with me. I just want to go across to our correspondents Ashraf and Manjeet, who are with us. Ashraf, let me just come to you first. We do have the news about the 17 Jawans, unfortunately, losing their lives as a result of that terror attack. Can you just take us through the combing operations? What exactly is now happening? What are you hearing from the Indian Army?
Avantika, basically, first of all, I want to brief our viewers that where this attack took place. Behind me, my cameraman will show you because this is the last point of the entry point of the brigade headquarters here in Uri, which is the town on the LOC. In case we can say it is the last town on line of control, and even the connectivity with the Pak-occupied Kashmir. The bus which goes from Srinagar to Muzaffarabad on every fortnight passes through this brigade headquarters, which we are showing in our camera pictures. In this brigade headquarters, as General Hasnain was briefing with you, he has, I remember even for a long time, he commanded this brigade here in this Uri. This was his office, and inside this office there is also the 10 Dogra company, and even we can say the battalion office inside that brigade headquarters, which was the main target today in this terror attack, which was carried out by 4 Fidain who were heavily armed. And early in the morning at about 3:30 they have entered the premises and they carried out first attack at 4. When they attacked with the grenades, they were carrying the two barracks which got fire, and that resulted the casualties of the army men, and which you have said that 17 Jawans lost their lives and even 20 are injured, some of them very critical, who are being treated in the Srinagar army base hospital. But if we go through the topography, you see behind this army brigade headquarters there are these mountains. There one end joins the Pakistani area, and it is the area just on the line of control, and even just passing 2 or 3 mountains you will find the towns and the villages of the Pak-occupied Kashmir or Pakistan. So this is very volatile, and even also the one of the exclusive information what we are getting is that the river Jahlim, which goes to Pakistan finally through passing through the valley, and that also passes just on the side of this brigade headquarters, and probably that river path maybe have been used by these terrorists to get inside the brigade headquarters. Otherwise, coming through direct path is not possible for them. There are so many posts, so many barricades of army ahead of this brigade headquarters. So the things which are being seen now.
Okay, Ashraf, just stay with me. We have with us retired Major General G.D. Bakshi. Sir, then what do you think went wrong? You know, I do understand, and one can't even imagine the challenges, you know, that our security personnel have to face. One cannot, it's not really a seized identity. You cannot completely foolproof the area. But there was an earlier warning of a spectacular strike that could be made against our armed forces. What, in your experience, went wrong?
What, in my experience, has gone horribly wrong is a complete surrender of the initiative at the tactical level to Pakistan. Why should Pakistan's Lashkar-e-Taiba be free to choose the targets, the time, the place from where to strike? You surrender this initiative to him, you react in a totally defensive, reactive, consequence management based approach, confined to one side of the LC. Well, he will get through. Whatever you do, he will get through at A place, B place, C place. You can't, he who defends everything defends nothing. The time has come now to hit back, to strike at the camps from where these attacks are emanating. You have to raise costs for Pakistan. You cannot fight a defensive defense battle confined purely to consequence management, confined purely to ordering courts of inquiry into what went wrong, why did it go wrong, why did the strike take place here and not there. The fact is he has chosen a soft spot. He has chosen a place where it is a unit rear. It's not a brigade headquarters. It's a unit rear where the clerks, the cooks, the safai walas, the dhobis, etc. are all there. So you can always choose soft spots like this and you can always strike and get away. The answer is to hit back. The answer is to raise costs. If he has killed 17 of our boys, at least 40 Pakistanis must be taken out for this particular thing across the LC. We must hit the LC, the trans-border camps. We cannot be defense forever.
All right, so just stay with me.
That is the worst strategy that any army can adopt. And we should not tie the hands of this army.
All right, so just stay with me, please. We're just receiving some breaking news right now. And the big news that we have right now is that the Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar, along with the Indian Army Chief General Dalbir Singh Suhag, are rushing to visit the valley. The Defence Minister will even be meeting the Army local commanders. Lapses also to be taken into account. But right now, their priority is to immediately reach the valley, to speak to the Army commanders, to bring the situation under control, and most importantly, you know, in the wake of the news of 17 Jawans losing their lives, boost the morale of the troops. Let's go straight now to India Today's Gaurav Sawant for more on this. Gaurav, this is going to be an extremely important visit by the Defence Minister and the Army Chief. I remember when the Pathankot terror attack had taken place, the Defence Minister himself had admitted to gaps and, you know, some serious lapses in the security. What can we expect from this visit?
Well, at a tactical level, boosting the morale of troops on ground would be very important. But as both General Atta Hasnain and General G.D. Bakshi are pointing out, India needs to take some measures so that India is not the only force that is hit by these terrorists at a place and time of terror's choosing. From what I've been told by my sources now, there will be operations that will be mounted to take out these sleeper cells. There was specific intelligence that a spectacular terror attack will be carried out before Nawaz Sharif addresses the United Nations General Assembly. Now, does this mean that the LC will light up, or does this mean that sleeper cells within Jammu and Kashmir will be taken out? Because these terrorists were monitoring this place. Now, remember, they've chosen a soft spot, and I don't agree with both the generals when they say you cannot protect everything. Look, the signs are there. They will choose a soft target. What is a soft target? There's a battalion that's going in and there is a battalion that's coming out. It's a vulnerable spot. This is not the first time a vulnerable spot has been targeted.
Yes.
It has regularly, repeatedly been targeted, whether at the line of control or in the depth area. So by now, 30 years of combating terror, the army should know when the battalion changeover is taking place, terrorists can strike, and that is the time they need to be doubly alert. And repeatedly, whether it's at the LC, where we lost boys of the Kumar, or here at the Dogras, you cannot have Jawans not being 100% alert when battalion changeover is happening. So that is something that cannot be the army's Achilles heel every time. Every time, that's the time terrorists strike. That's the time terrorists attack locations. That needs to stop. That's point one. Point two, when you knew that before Nawaz Sharif's address to the United Nations General Assembly, there will be a spectacular attack, why is it that the entire focus was only in the depth areas? Why was LC, additional troops not there at the LC, reserves not deployed at the LC? Reserves don't just mean you deploy them in war.
Okay.
You deploy reserves at sensitive timing. And I'm not saying this. This is what commanders on ground are telling me.
Absolutely. There are several questions that need to be asked, Gaurav. Just stay with me. We're getting in some more breaking news. We're getting in the news about the Home Minister Rajnath Singh is also scheduled to hold a high-level security meeting at his residence. Rajnath Singh said that he has already given instructions to the Home Secretary and other senior officers to closely monitor the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. The IB, the RAW Chief and senior officials from the Home Ministry will be present in this meeting. 17 Jawans have very tragically lost their life in the attack that took place earlier on in the morning at 5:30 in Uri, and combing operations are presently underway. We have with us India Today's Manjeet Negi, an important meeting there by Rajnath Singh. What can we expect? We also know at the same time, Manjeet, that the Defence Minister and the Army Chief are on their way to the valley. Can you just tell us a little bit more about this important meeting? Manjeet, can you hear me?
Avantika, just few moments ago, Home Secretary Rajiv Maharishi and DGMI.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello. Just few moments ago, Home Secretary Rajiv Maharishi and DGMO Ranveer Singh reached Rajnath Singh residence, and Home Minister called a high-level meeting to review the situation in Jammu Kashmir, especially the terror attack in Uri. And as you know, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar and along with the Army Chief General Dalbir Suhag rushing to Srinagar, and first he will meet two injured soldiers, and after that he will review the high-level meeting with local army commanders and after the Uri attacks.
All right, Manjeet, thank you so much for giving us all the updates, and Gaurav, we will keep coming back to you through the day.